How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sunday, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Friday here on the program, and we've got a weekend coming up, don't we? A lot of stuff to talk about here today. We got a lot of lineups for you. Tonight is a live edition of Rampage. It is the go-home show, the actual go-home show for AEW Full Gear, which, if you're listening, John Moxley, it's Saturday. So I've got a full lineup for the show. As of right now, we have 11 matches here on the show, and perhaps more will be added tonight. I guess we shall see. Because I actually heard about another match, but I don't see it listed here. So anyway, we're going to have a lot of matches tomorrow. If you're there in the building, there will be even more. Smackdown is tonight. We have got a number of matches scheduled for the show, including the return of Sami Zayn. He will be in the SmackDown World Cup tournament facing Butch tonight, which should be an excellent match. And then later on this weekend, we have the New Japan Stardom crossover show, where our own filthy Tom Lawler teams with Shuri to face Zack Sabre Jr. and Julia in what I think is the main event. Although Mayu Iwatani and Kairi is going to be an awesome match for the IWGP Women's title. Will Ospreay, Shota Umino, and more on the show. We have updates on CM Punk from The Observer this week. Britt Baker talks about Full Gear and the match with Saraya. Tony Khan talks about the Women's Interim Championship. We have the ratings for Dynamite. Lot to talk about there, and plenty of more. We'll take your feedback today. If you'd like to text us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. At Bryan Alvarez on Twitter until the bird is plucked. And then just email me, Bryan at WrestlingObserver.com. Back in a moment with more Observer Live.
Yeah, I was actually excited. I was very excited because up to that point, I really wasn't doing much. I'd come to Raw and do the show main event, and which airs on Hulu. And I was kind of just like, I want to do more. You know what I mean? But it didn't seem like anything was going to happen or anything was kind of happening, and it just kind of, I became complacent, and I was just kind of like, I need to do something. I want to contribute more, and the idea came up about coming back to NXT, and I was ready to take on it head on. I felt like it was an opportunity for me to kind of a fresh start or a new beginning, kind of, which not a lot of people get that opportunity in life in general. So it's nice to be able to come down and have that fresh start and do something different and actually be involved on a regular basis. It's very nice. It's a nice change of pace, almost like a breath of fresh air. And again, there's a lot of young talent out here that I get to work with that's, so hungry, passionate, young, and have everything ahead of them. So it's nice to see, and it helped me kind of find that passion again and that motivation for myself as well, because I was kind of going through a rut where it was like, okay, I'm going to go to work, do my job, and I'm going to fly home. And I got stuck in that, I don't know, I just got stuck in that rut, and it's just nice to kind of have that fire, that light kind of be reignited, and become a fan again as well of the sport. So it's nice. It was I was very excited for the opportunity. I'm still excited for the opportunity, because even my first go around at NXT, when I first got signed originally, I don't think I had enough time down to kind of develop character or develop that much of anything before I got called up to Monday Night Raw. So to have the opportunity again, it's wonderful. I felt great about that, because I never had the opportunity to go out there and kind of just talk and show that I have that side as well, and I remember when I first came up, it was like, oh, he does a smile, he can't cut a promo or whatever it was, I was getting all kind of like feedback from which I still do. You still get, fans that want to say what they got to say, but it was weird. So I did the accent, which when I got into that character with the Nigerian stuff, I kind of was hesitant to do the accent, but I said, okay, this is a job that I got to do. And I'm going to do it to the best of my ability as well, which I feel like I took something and ran with it and absolutely killed it. But doing that accent in a weird way kind of helped me find my voice and kind of helped me understand, that I don't need to pretend I'm somebody else. It's weird, but it worked out that way for me. So for me to come out now without the accent and being able to talk, I've kind of just been able to find that voice, So to go and show that again was great.
Now back to Wrestling Observer Live. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Let's make a vow not to talk about Twitter on this show today.
Fair enough.
Don't want to do it. I don't want to hear from people that won't be able to talk to anybody outside the house once Twitter goes down. Now, on that note, tomorrow, if you want to talk to people outside your house and there's no Twitter, you know what we're doing? We are going to do a post-Full Gear show, audio and video, on both YouTube, video.f4wonline.com, which has a chat feature that is available worldwide, as well as on Twitch, twitch.tv/F4W video. So if you are not a Twitch subscriber, sign up today. You can either pay or you can use your Amazon Prime account and sign up for free. But for free, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch the post-show tomorrow with Dave and I, and you can watch the post-show Sunday with Vinny and Craig and I. 2 shows are going to be simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. Members only, YouTube and Twitch, after the shows. We'll do it tomorrow and Sunday. Dave will be tomorrow. Vinny and Craig and I will be on Sunday. The only negative is, I hate to say it, but Dave will not have video because he's on vacation. And so he's going to be on the telephone. But we'll try to find a real cool pic that we'll put up to represent Dave Meltzer on the show tomorrow. And by the way, I should mention that for those of you that have been watching video and you just won't be quiet about Dave having to hold the mic, years ago, I offered to do a full setup with Dave, and he didn't want anything except a mic that he could hold. This was his request from day one. Same thing with Filthy. Filthy wanted to hold the mic. And so you can do all the donating you want, brothers. He's always going to hold the mic because that's what he wants to do. Same with Filthy Tom. It's not a punishment or anything of that nature. He wants to hold the mic. So he's going to get to hold the mic. Now, Full Gear is tomorrow, and tonight we have the go-home show for Full Gear. It is Rampage. Rampage is live again. It was taped last week. This week it is back to being live. And you, dear listener and viewer, can watch the following matches live tonight. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz will face Kaneski Takeshita and Jun Akiyama tonight live on Rampage.
What was that name again?
Jun Akiyama.
No, the other one.
Kanesuke Takeshita.
Kanesuke?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you want to say get out of here. Ricky Starks will be facing Lance Archer in an AEW Eliminator tournament match. And then Hook and Lee Moriarty fight for the FTW title. Madison Rain's back. She will be facing Athena. And, you know, I talked yesterday about my my idea for Ricky Starks and how you could do a deal where he had, 3 matches in 2 days. And somebody on the board, I mean, they kind of made a good point. They said, if you do that, you kind of make him sympathetic and you kind of make the company a heel for making him go through that, as opposed to what they did, which is putting the finals on Dynamite. And then, if he makes it the finals, he gets a few days to rest. And yes, you could argue that if you wanted to. But, if he does that and you don't make a big deal about why he has to, it's just that's the way it is. That's the way the tournament was booked. You got injured, and Like the finals are on the pay-per-view. We want to do the finals on the pay-per-view. You're not really making the company that heelish, especially if he does a great job. So, whatever. It's not happening, so who cares?
Well, especially because baby faces have fought through these scenarios for as long as there has been pro wrestling, whatever it is, whether it be somebody needing to come back and struggling to come back because the 30 days is almost up and they're going to lose their title or whatever it is. It's not like it's that uncommon a thing to do.
So that all leads to the Full Gear show. And I'm going to actually do the Full Gear lineup after this next break because we can go old school and do predictions. Who is going to win all of these matches on Saturday? Maybe Mike and I can put in our predictions, and we'll find out Sunday that I was the winner. I guess it'd be Monday, wouldn't it? But we do have Smackdown tonight. Smackdown. Wait a second. Where was Dynamite? Weren't they in Connecticut?
They were. That was an odd one because I think WWE even announced theirs earlier. It was 45 minutes away. It was in Uncasville, whereas this is in Hartford. But still, I mean, it's still relatively close together.
Okay, so AEW is in Connecticut, and now tonight SmackDown is in Connecticut. So we'll see how the crowd is. Because boy, that crowd wasn't very good in Connecticut on Wednesday.
Well, there's a little bit of a difference here in that they had about, 3,400 people inside of a 10,000-person building, and the XL Center apparently is like, it's a lot more than that as far as tickets sold, at least according to WrestleTix.
Well, we have Roman Reigns appearing tonight. We have 2 tournament matches. We have Butch versus the returning Sami Zayn, and we have Ricochet versus Ali. Coming off that big... great performance on Monday. Ali going in there to show us how it's done here on SmackDown. And then Ronda Rousey will appear. It's almost like it's a magic act. You're going to be looking at the ring, and then she's going to appear.
Well, maybe they're trying to make fans disappear by announcing her to be on the show to appear.
Maybe they'll have a big hat she'll be pulled out of.
Will it be Marina Shafir's?
Oh, could be. Then we've got the crossover show, and the top matches on the show, obviously. We have Filthy Tom Lawler and Suri versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Julia. That's going to be, man, that's really going to be the main event because I think Tom's got some special stuff planned, and he's very, very excited. I mean, I never seen the guy so happy in my life.
I wonder if
I was there for the birth of his children.
Yes,
I helped deliver him. He wasn't that happy.
Wait a second. You helped deliver the children?
Yeah, it was a little messy.
I could believe that, but hopefully he made it through customs because I can see him getting hung up there for a long time trying to explain why you have all of this Boy George memorabilia ready to go to Japan.
Well, I'm afraid that he doesn't need to bring it because when he gets to Japan, there will be plenty. Then we've got Will Ospreay and Shota Umino for the IWGP United States title. And Mayu Iwatani and Kairi will be wrestling for the IWGP Women's Championship. The winner will be the first champion. And I believe, what's so funny?
Somebody in the, who was this, Sticker Reds 202 in the chat saying that Julia will rip off his jorts to reveal just tinier jorts. And I actually can't wait for that to happen because I can see that happening.
Man, I'm getting questioned about ever soiling my hands after what I said about the birth. Bros, listen, I was there for the birth of my 2 children, one of which was in with a midwife. I did, in fact, soil my hands.
Was it all natural for you as well, or did you get hammered before this one was out?
Oh, man, it was all natural. Although I should have put some of that, that thing that gives you all of the gas, laughing.
Oh, by
gas.
the way, if anybody out there, I know we have a relatively young audience here, but if you're going to, you get to that age and you decide to have kids and all that sort of stuff, just be ready. Be ready. If you say you're going to help, I won't pass out, all that sort of stuff. Just be ready for what you're going to see.
No one's ever ready.
No, I know.
I remember taking those birthing classes, and boy, what a waste of time that was.
Yeah, that's why we didn't take any of those.
Oh, we'll prepare you. Nah. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Well,
nature will do that.
Didn't prepare me. Nothing could have prepared me.
Did you almost pass out?
No. Not even close.
Yeah, right.
No, I didn't at all.
You didn't have that
No.
big joy that came over you, that lightheadedness?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was happy.
I did.
But it was pretty messy. The joy came after cleanup.
You're making it sound like it was a little too messy. What, did she pop out of her stomach like Alien or something?
Dude, it was pretty messy. Then she came out. She looked like a little old man. This is Paisley.
Was she holding on to the umbilical cord like a tag cord?
No, I don't think so. But I'm not going to give that kind of details to everybody. But she did come out looking like a little old man. It was. I was like, you gave birth to an old man. What happened? I was baffled. And then, they cleaned her up and they put her in some cute clothes. And by the time we got her in the car seat, she looked like a little baby. But man, when she first came out, she looked like an old man.
Like Don
I was like,
Rickles.
is this Benjamin Button? This is the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. An old man came out. They told me it was a girl, but an old man came out of her belly. I'll never forget this. Back in a moment, Observer Live.
It does, and it's funny because I haven't been traveling now that I'm back in Orlando with NXT, but like I feel like I'm busier than when I was actually traveling, which is crazy because it's like, okay, now it's other, I forget about the other aspects of, for example, when I'd go on the road on like I'd leave on Thursday, or also I leave on Sunday to get to the town for Monday Night Raw. And I forget, I have that night in the hotel, but it's like every day now it's waking up to the kids and being a father as well. And not that I wasn't a father before, but I still had the days where I was kind of just like on my own, where now it's every day. It's like, okay, I got to remember I have my own things to take care of for myself personally, but I have now the two people on a regular basis where, the weekends are busy, where it's just not really a lot of time for myself, which is okay. But I just got to remember, now I got to squeeze those times in certain places where usually I would have just kind of, taken that time for granted before.
What is your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna go with Halloween.
Question number 2, who is the funniest person backstage?
I'm gonna go with Luke Gallows on that one.
Question number 3, what was your first ever job?
Target, when I graduated from high school.
Question number 4, what's your all-time favorite wrestling theme song, and you can't pick your own?
I think it's the one, The Rock, where it was a little slowed down and it's kind of like the beginning was like, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Ha. And then it went into it, slow beat. That was probably my favorite one.
Question number 5, are you a good cook? If so, what's the best dish you make?
I do cook for my kids though, so I actually am a good cook, and I'll go with spaghetti, we'll say. I think like just because they like it so much.
What's your favorite Halloween memory?
First time me and my daughter, her first Halloween, and she was Violet from The Incredibles, and I was Mr. Incredible.
Question number 7, has anyone ever played a prank on you backstage?
Nothing that would be like worth like mentioning. Nothing crazy.
Question number 8, what's a bad habit you're trying to break?
I bite my calluses all the time. Yeah, so that's really horrible.
Question number 9, if someone asked you for a vacation recommendation, what place would you give them?
Japan, easily. Japan is probably my favorite country that I've ever been to. The people there are amazing. It's so peaceful. Everybody's so welcoming. Japan for sure.
Last question, do you collect anything?
Shoes, which is actually, this can go back to the bad habit. Collecting shoes is a very horrible habit because I have a lot of them that I do not wear and I have not worn yet. Very bad habit. I don't suggest anybody pick up that habit. So we can group those together, kind of like a collect and bad habit kind of thing.
Hey there, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching my Q&A. I hope you guys had a good time. Before we go, just a heads up, if you haven't already, head on over to youtube.com/F4W Online TV. We have surpassed over 92,000 subscribers and are even closer and closer to hitting that 100K mark. So if you haven't already, make sure to head on over and subscribe. Once again, that is youtube.com/F4W Online TV. Now back to Wrestling Observer Live. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. We're going to go over the full gear lineup, do some predictions here. And Dagan is apparently going to Rampage tonight, but he is upgrading to the front row. And he is offering to give away his ticket If you do not have a ticket to Rampage, Dagan is willing to give his old ticket away. Section 8, row 5, opposite the hard cam. And I'm going to make sure that he wants to do it. And then we will give it away in the final segment here of this show. I think I'm going to do a text message trivia contest. But only enter, obviously, if you're able to go to Rampage tonight. Don't enter if you're in, Egypt or something.
Oh, by the way, folks, if you're listening to the West Coast replay of the show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, it's too late.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Don't text. Blow up the text machine. Then Brian's going to be complaining about that.
Okay. Hold on. I got my wife, of course, is texting.
She heard the show, didn't she?
No.
The one time she listened to the show, and she is pissed.
Nah, she don't care. Okay.
Yes.
See, it's early dismissal day, so we have to... Anyway.
Oh, by the way,
no, she does not want the
I
ticket.
Probably won't be here on Monday. Might have to go back to the doctor with Avery, so...
All right, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Ricky Starks. Either Lance Archer or Ricky Starks will be facing Brian Cage in the whatever is the next round. So tonight, obviously, it's Ricky Starks and Lance Archer. Winner faces Brian Cage in the pre-show. I predict Ricky Starks is winning this match over Brian Cage.
I agree.
We have got Wardlow, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Three-way for Wardlow's title, not Samoa Joe's. I predicted like a long time ago that the man who should eventually beat Wardlow was Powerhouse Hobbs. I said it here on this show. Now, some people would say, oh, well, it's way too early to beat Wardlow. I mean, you may be right, but let's be honest. What have they done with Wardlow? Is Wardlow going to be in the championship picture for the AEW title anytime soon? Unlikely. Is he just going to be doing the exact same thing most likely? Yes. So, to me, Powerhouse Hobbs should win the title, and then Wardlow can chase him for a while and give him something to do. So I will say Powerhouse Hobbs, but honest to God, I predict Wardlow probably retains.
I'm going with Powerhouse Hobbs. I bet you there could be a surprise. I mean, look, Joe having both titles for a little while isn't the worst thing in the world, considering that ROH doesn't have a TV outlet. So if you decided to do that, I think that would be cool. But Powerhouse Hobbs would be my choice as well, too, for the reason that you mentioned about Wardlow chasing. And Hobbs has already used a bunch of minions and a bunch of goons and goofs already to try to go after people. Wardlow tearing through a bunch of them, powerbombing somebody at all times. Not the worst idea in the world.
You know what else I would do is, you have too many matches, so you wouldn't do it, but I would have made this a best-of-3 falls match. The first fall is for the Ring of Honor title. The second fall is for the, whatever title Wardlow has, the TNT title.
TNT.
And then, even though the titles have changed, then you've got the final, the real dramatic third fall, where can some guy win either title? Can a guy who's a champion win both titles? And then, whatever you do, you end up doing. But
did the guy who won the second one try to run out the clock in the third? I mean, there are interesting options there. I don't think with these three guys it would be right, but that scenario with somebody, say a Danielson and two other people or something like that, I think could be a cool idea.
And we've got the Death Triangle, Pac, Penta, and Rey Fenix versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks for the 6-man titles. And let's be real. Death Triangle was never supposed to get these titles. The Elite was never supposed to lose these titles. He didn't make these titles without some sort of plan. So I predict the Elite wins the titles in their first match back.
I think the Elite win the titles, and I think on top of that, we could see a split in the Death Triangle with that hammer, coming into play, because if you think about it, with whatever they're doing with House of Black, there's a really good chance that they're back as a trio. Perfect thing for to have the Elite feud with them as you go ahead and obviously do something there and change things up a little bit. Get Pac a partner and have him feud with Penta and Phoenix.
By the way, this person goes, why does Joe get a shiny belt and Jericho has the dull old world title? Well, that Jericho's belt is made of platinum. It just looks like steel. Or maybe it's white gold. It doesn't matter. Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a cage match. Jack Perry's winning this match. Jungle Jack. And then ultimately, we got to still drag it out even longer until Christian can come back for that big blow-off match.
Yeah, I wonder if he wins the match but then gets attacked by somebody else now who's joining Christian's army here, because Luchasaurus could use a partner, especially if he's banged up anyway. I think he's much better off in tag teams. And Christian not letting this die, I can see somebody, if not tomorrow night, maybe on Wednesday night.
Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby Allin. Sting is going to submit Jeff Jarrett with the Scorpion Deathlock.
I don't know if he submits Jeff Jarrett.
He does.
I could see a errant guitar shot hitting Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh doing something going wrong, and actually Sting or Darby Allin getting the victory over Jay Lethal. I can absolutely see that. I'll say this, and granted, I'm a huge Jeff Jarrett apologist. I have my entire life. There's no survivor in pro wrestling like Jeff Jarrett or the Jarrett family, but everybody that's complaining about this, it's him and Sting. It gives Sting somebody, I don't know. I know people want to see Sting fly off of things at all times and all that stuff, but this is a way to get Sting and Darby Allin on the show without them necessarily killing themselves and not having it affect anything else in the AEW stratosphere anyway. It's a self-contained feud, and I think there are far worse things than Jeff Jarrett.
Well, I mean, there are. Him wrestling somebody else. So let's get this thing over with. Sting submits the guy, and he goes and he books Towns.
Well, hey, look, Jarrett as a character popping up once in a while is not the worst idea in the world. So if he doesn't lose here, that's fine. I think a far worse character, I mean, I'm sorry, but a far worse character is Sanjay Dutt. He is an annoying cartoon character out there, and I like Sanjay Dutt. It sucks.
Wow.
It sucks and it's annoying. And I'm sorry, and again, I like Sanjay Dutt. It's nothing against him personally, but in the mix of that show, I mean, honest to God, I think if you polled people, I think he'd finish low on the list of people that fans want to see.
Wow. Well, they're not supposed to want to see him. He's an annoying heel manager.
No, it's that go-away heat, dude.
Well, I don't
It's
think
like
so at
there's
all.
got to be somebody else that could be used in the spot sort of thing. But I
Wow.
get it with the whole Indian thing. I get it with Satnam Singh, but it's been overkill with that dude.
Wow.
Look, and I'm saying that about him.
all people.
People say that about Jay Lethal, and I don't agree with that because I don't think Jay Lethal is overrated or annoying or any of that sort of stuff. But there are people that want Jay Lethal off TV, more than Sanjay Dutt.
Can I move on now to Britt Baker and Saraya?
Sure.
Poor Sanjay Dutt. Golly, of all the people that take all this heat on this show with 500 people in her contract, my goodness.
Please. 500 people wrestling on the show? No,
There are
he's on
500
the show.
He's not wrestling. He's just out there as a manager, for crying out loud. Listen, you know who I really like, but has been far worse than Sanjay Dutt on this show? Is Smart Mark Sterling, okay?
That's another one.
Listen.
No, they're two peas in the same pod, Brian.
Listen,
They are.
no, there's a difference. Because Sanjay has never actively hurt anybody's title reign, okay? But every time somebody wins a title, and the first thing that happens is Smart Mark comes out, and one of his random dorks has to have a match with the champion, and it just halts them. Like, that's a far bigger problem than Sanjay Dutt. And I like Smart Mark. And I'm not even saying take the guy off the show. But that, man, every time somebody wins a title, like if Hobbs wins his title, he's going to come out on the next show and here's going to come Smart Mark Sterling. And it's going to be like, what? Why? Like, why was that Wardlow's first feud with Smart Mark? He beat MJF. He won this title. And here comes Smart Mark Sterling. Anyway, Britt Baker and Saraya. Britt Baker should win. Saraya will. That's my prediction.
I think Britt Baker cheats. She gets the victory over a rusty, they can always say a rusty Saraya, and I think that ends up leading to her and Jamie Hayter, because I know we're not to it yet, but Jamie Hayter is going to beat Toni Storm.
Nyla Rose. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Yes, Jamie Hayter is going to beat Toni Storm. That is my prediction also for the women's title. Jade Cargill will beat Nyla Rose and get this over with. My prediction. We've got Jericho and Danielson versus Jericho, Danielson, Claudio, and Sammy in a four-way for the Ring of Honor title. And I fully expect Chris Jericho to retain. And something will happen, I believe, to lead to Jericho and Danielson at Final Battle.
I think Jericho pinned Sammy, but I think the same way. I think the real feud for the title is going to be Jericho and Danielson, but the underlying feud is still going to be Jericho and Sammy. So,
and we have got Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory. I predict Swerve in Our Glory wins when Keith Lee turns heel, and they beat the Acclaim. We'll get Mike's thoughts on the main event after the break. Observer Live.
So I want to start off by asking you, how did you get involved in this crazy world of pro wrestling? How did it all get started for you?
Man, I have just loved it for my entire life. I grew up watching it, and I grew up as a performer and an athlete. So it was always something that just appealed to me, but it was never something that I thought I could do. I never thought that my body would be able to handle it or that my mind would be able to handle it. And as I got older, I was like, you know what? No, I can. I totally can do this. So I started getting after it, and I had no idea how to get started, but I found a trainer in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is not where I'm from. So I had to go quite a far ways away to get to it. But I started training with George South when I was 21, so 2019. And then after I trained with him and Caleb Conley, I moved back down to Alabama to finish university, and he hooked me up with Mike Jackson. He's 72 years old. He's wrestled for Impact before, and that one time he wrestled before, he took me with him. He was like, hey, girl, you come with me. I was going to go anyway, but I was dating one of the wrestlers, so I didn't want to be weird about being in the back. So I was like, oh, I'll just get a ticket and watch outside. But he was like, no, you're my tag partner. You go with me. And I said, okay. So I went, and it was like one of those things, right place, right time. I met Madison Rain, and we had a great conversation, and she was like, have you ever thought about being an interviewer? And I said, funnily enough, I have a degree in journalism and broadcasting. So I'd love to. I've never done it for pro wrestling, but hey, let's give it a shot. And I got my foot in the door that day. Then when COVID happens, I was just so happened to be stranded with Sammy, Jess, and Ace. And they were talking about doing the closed set tapings. And they said, bring her with you. And that was it. End of story. It's so hard because especially being so young, and I really do have a lot of injuries already for being so young. I have to kind of weigh my options. But something that I've really fallen in love with in the past year has been managing. I absolutely love it because it still incorporates that physical aspect, but my strong suit is the speaking. My strong suit is the personality. And I get to do both when I'm managing. I get to go through a table at the end and wear a cute outfit while I do it. That's what I love. So I've really fallen in love with that. And so that's something I'm trying to get better at. So hopefully maybe that will be on the horizon.
Now back to Wrestling Observer Live. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Did you do a prediction? You didn't do a prediction for the tag match.
Yeah, when you skipped over, I'm going with Jade as well, too. But I'm going with the Acclaimed, which I believe may be the only thing that we differ on.
It is.
But I could see the Acclaimed getting the victory and Keith Lee still turning dirty after the match, shaking hands, and he destroys both guys. There's a miscommunication or something like that where you can still turn Lee heel, but not take the belts off the Acclaim quite yet.
See, I think it's a very obvious finish in that they're doing all their near falls. Referee goes down. Swerve grabs the belt. He holds it up. He's going to hit Bowens or whoever. And Keith stops him. No, I've been yelling at you about cheating for months. We're not. Give me that belt. And he takes the belt and he whacks him. Turns heel. They win the titles. I think it's going to be something like that. Then the main event is Moxley and MJF for the title. And I have gone back and forth on this for weeks now. And as of right now, I believe that MJF is turning heel and winning the title. Which is interesting now that I think about it, because if they put that tag title match on last and you do the same finish in 2 matches, maybe they'll have to mix it up a little bit. But I'm not sure how. I don't know if he uses the brass knucks and William Regal sides with him or what happens. But that's my prediction as of now. MJF goes full heel, wins the title from Moxley.
He is a heel. I think the question is, does William Regal turn heel? That's going to be interesting.
He's been a babyface for weeks.
I guess you could say that. I mean,
he has for sure. 100%.
MJ, look, because when he was getting dumped through the table by the firm and all that, but I mean, again, he talks about being the devil all the time. I know he's backed off on some of the insults and all that stuff, but to me, he's moved somewhere towards the middle, and that's where he's at right now, this little island among himself, with Stokely and his crew on one side, and MJ, where Moxley and Regal and the whole Blackpool Combat Club on the other side. I see Regal turning heel. I can see Regal turning heel. I don't know if that's the best idea, but it's not like the Blackpool Combat Club with the people that are involved needs a mouthpiece or anything like that. So Regal may be seeing some of himself in MJF and doing something to help him win, and still, to me, the smartest thing you can do is have him play that Ric Flair role. If people are cheering him, he can play to that. If he's wrestling W. Morrissey, then he's the biggest babyface in the world. If he's wrestling John Moxley, he's a dirty, lying, cheating prick. There are so many things you can do with MJF as a 84, 85 Ric Flair type of character. No matter where he goes, no matter who he faces, he can adapt to the scene and be the biggest thing.
He ain't gonna like this, but I don't like it. I think that he is an incredible heel. And my issue with all of this is I don't even know if he can be an incredible babyface, because I don't think we're gonna find out. I advocate that we try to find out.
Well, I think we know,
see how far he can go as a babyface. And if it ain't working out as a babyface, then he should just be the biggest heel in all of wrestling. Don't halfway it where sometimes he's a heel, sometimes he's a babyface. Just have
if anybody can do it, though, it really is him, and he's unique enough with the way he cuts promos and how he does it, and he's where you can pull something like that off, where everybody is aiming at this jerk, this prick, this bastard who holds this title now hostage in his little world, in his little Burberry world, and he can compete against everybody and still be a heel, still be the biggest heel in the world, but be able to play it up in different ways depending on who he's facing, because what does the devil care if he's facing Malachi Black? You know what I mean? As opposed to facing Wheeler Yuta or something like that. So I think there's a way that you could absolutely do that. And I think, obviously, it's really early in his career, but this is not like a football player or basketball player where his skills may all of a sudden deteriorate and diminish overnight. MJF, one thing we know about great heels, the classic heels of wrestling history, is when it's time to turn them babyface, they're great babyfaces. And everything's been accelerated with him anyway. And I think he actually is. I mean, again, right now, you could pull it off and do it.
All right, listen. Dagan here says, I got front row secured. Dagan has a ticket for Rampage tonight. Section 8, row 5, seat 4, opposite the hard cam. So if you are in Connecticut and you can go to Rampage tonight and you don't have a ticket, but you will go if you get a free ticket, I'm going to do a trivia contest. We're going to see how closely you guys listen to this show. So you freeloaders are in trouble. You should have paid. The question is, We'll try this. If it's too hard, I'll do another question. During the commercial breaks, twitch.tv/F4W video, video.f4wonline.com. During the commercial breaks, we often play, or we have in the past, played matches of mine. And in some of these matches, there's a guy referred to as the filmer. He's the guy filming the matches. And oftentimes, he buries the people wrestling the match. I paid him to film, and he just spent the entire match burying us. What is this man's name? 425-780-7566 is the text message line. 425-780-7566. If you know the name of the filmer and you're in Connecticut, first person to text me the correct answer gets this free ticket.
I think they're in Jersey.
To Rampage. What?
Rampage is in Jersey live tonight. Dynamite was in
Smackdown.
Connecticut.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, wherever it is. Where the hell is Rampage? No one corrects me until just now. Where's Rampage at? Jersey? Prudential Center. God darn it.
Somebody
All
say
right, if you're
Newark,
if you're
Delaware.
in Jersey, New Jersey, at the Prudential Center.
Or the tri-state area.
Whatever.
Make it there.
Dude, who cares? Can you get to Rampage? If you can get to Rampage and you know the name of the filmer, 425-780-7566. I don't care if it's on the moon. I don't care where it's at.
If you're in some part of metropolitan New York that Brian knows, like Buffalo, and you're buried under 6 feet of snow,
You're an idiot.
Maybe you can make it.
A shoot idiot is what you are. Yeah, I know where it's at now. You dorks. All right. And no. Yes, it's Friday. And the
We still got 4.5 minutes to go.
The pay-per-view. Oh, we got way more than that, dude. We got way more than that. We got a solid 6 minutes. Does anybody know the name of the filmer? I'll give you a hint. It's not Craig. That was
if they don't know who it is, me saying anything about a website or anything like that isn't going to jog their memory. So,
if no one answers, I may just say first text message comes in. But let's see who can do this. Oh, I'm supposed to be embarrassed. I had a John Moxley moment. That guy's an all-timer. He's in the Hall of Awesome. I'm not sad. I don't mind having a John Moxley moment, as long as it doesn't involve a blade. Anybody? Nobody? Wow.
Come on, guys.
Well, let's read some of these text messages while everybody fails.
Why is Vinny? People think Vinny was the filmer.
It's not Vinny. What, Vinny managed to film his own match and bury himself? Come on. Nobody knows? We don't have any listeners in New Jersey that know the name of the filmer. Or maybe they already got tickets. Maybe they don't want to go. I don't know. No idea his name, but Rampage is in Newark. Thank you. Thank you. But you know what? You might have been in Connecticut and you could make it to Newark. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's airplanes.
It's a car ride, Brian.
Trains.
It's train.
Cars.
Yes.
Well, I realize
Railway.
there's cars, bloke, but you know what? I could drive to San Francisco, but I flew. Make my life easy.
You think the distance between, like, Bridgeport and Newark is that far? San Francisco
2
to
hours
Seattle?
and 30 minutes. See, I told you guys, if you live in Connecticut, you also could get this ticket here. Just tell me the name of the filmer. I'd have to ask an easier question. I'll give it 1 more minute, then I'll do an easier question.
But will you give them the answer to that question, or will we now withhold
No,
it?
because someone may actually get it. All right. AEW and WWE need to have more matches that end on secondary moves and have short matches with the story he is defeated quickly, as opposed to they weren't given time to perform. It'll teach fans to pay attention before the near falls. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got an answer yet. Still nothing. Nobody knows the
kids.
name of the filmer. Nobody knows the name of the filmer.
All these young bucks in here, I guess.
I'm in pain thinking that nobody knows the name of the filmer. What's your favorite non-wrestling shoot favored show? I don't even know
Shoot
that
what
means.
show?
Shoot favored. I don't know what that means. My favorite shoot show? I don't watch a lot of TV. All right, second question. Who knows the answer to this? If you were in the range of Newark, New Jersey,
How was paternity court?
How Shoulders Torelli became Big Vinny V. My sidekick in this film is not Craig, despite what many people have thought over the years. What is this man's name? 425-780-7566.
Come on.
Anybody. It's not Craig. Don't drop it in the chat, everybody. You're making this too easy for people.
Maybe we need to make it a little bit easier for people the way this thing is going so far.
This person's close. I think it was your uncle, but I forgot his name. Yeah. No, it is not that.
Howdy?
This person wants to know, is it the author of the Jobber 500? Why, yes, it is. Why, yes, it is. Nobody from Newark can get this?
Come on.
It ain't Dick Togo.
It ain't Uncle Buck.
Then John goes, I don't live there, but I know the filmer. But he didn't say who it is.
Well, that's good. He didn't want to give it away. Didn't want to give it away for somebody else.
Come on, New Jersey. Anybody know the answer? What's the guy's name? It ain't Craig.
It's not Mondo Guerrero.
Okay, we got a correct...
How random is that?
Okay, we got a correct answer here from the 405 area code. Are you in range of Rampage? If you are, you're the winner.
Wait, the 405?
The 405 area code.
Hold on a second.
Huh? Anybody?
Maybe I'm thinking of the 305.
We're killing
That's
the
Miami.
listeners here.
The 405 is Oklahoma City. Wait a second.
Well, I mean, he could be on a cell phone.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah.
He's hooking it up so he can have the Dish TV.
Okay, yeah, 908. 908. You got the answer right. Hey, listen, you got to tell me if you're in range of Newark. Don't just give me the answer. If you're in range of Newark and you want the ticket, let me know. Okay, we got another one here. 347.
All right.
Whoever texts me first from any of those text messages saying that they are... No, it's not Bobby Sox McLaughlin. It's not. Okay, who's in range? Who's in range? 908 is Shoot New Jersey. Who's 908?
It is.
908. You want the ticket?
New Jersey, hello.
Text me right now if you want that ticket, brother, and then I'll give the answers to these questions. I think 908's going to get it.
Hunterdon
Unless
County?
he lived there and then moved to, like, Guam, which is entirely possible. 405, not in the range. All right. 347, I am in New Jersey. 347, you want the ticket? If you do, text me right now. I'll give the winner after the break. Give me your name and everything. Observer Live.
I do want to go ahead and get into that lightning round portion. I'm going to ask you 10 random questions, and you just answer them however you please. So here we go. Question number 1. If you weren't in wrestling, what do you think you'd be doing?
Musical theater.
Ooh, are you a big musical theater fan?
I was a theater major in college.
Question number 2. Who are your top 3 favorite artists?
Ooh, Eagles, favorite band, Panic at the Disco, and Taylor Swift.
Question number 3. What was your favorite subject in school?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I loved them all. I loved history. I like stories, so I loved history.
Question number 4. Describe the perfect date.
Ooh, perfect date has to be a shopping trip. I love things. My love language is gifts. I love going on a shopping trip.
Question number 5. What's the last TV show or movie that you watched?
Probably SpongeBob. I watch SpongeBob every single morning. It's my absolute favorite show. It's my comfort show.
You can never go wrong with a good SpongeBob episode.
Classic.
Question number 6. Do you own any pets?
Yes, my sweet angel baby, Selena. She's a little black fluffy cat. She's named after Catwoman, and she is the best.
Question number 7. Favorite place to shop?
Oh, TJ Maxx.
Really, TJ Maxx? Oh, that's so scary. That's so random.
I love a bargain, baby.
Question number 8. Favorite appetizer and favorite dessert?
Spinach and artichoke dip, 100%, and creme brulee.
Question number 9. Your dream vacation?
Ooh, I went on a cruise this past year and oh my gosh, fell in love. I would love to go on either a Mediterranean cruise or a Hawaiian cruise.
Oh, that would be really nice. And last question, question number 10. What's something people don't know about you?
My fun fact is that I'm double jointed in just about every joint on my body. From just sitting right here, I'll show you this one.
Oh,
Do a full rotation. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
how is she doing that?
Yeah, I'm double jointed in my shoulders, my wrists, my elbows, my hips, my knees, and my ankles.
Oh my God. Okay, that's really cool. I love that. Okay, that's great. Before we go, just a heads up, if you haven't already, head on over to youtube.com/F4W Online TV. We have surpassed over 92,000 subscribers and are even closer and closer to hitting that 100K mark. So if you haven't already, make sure to head on over and subscribe. Once again, that is youtube.com/F4W Online TV. Now back to Wrestling Observer Live. Enjoy the show, everyone.
I can't believe how hard it is to give this ticket away. Okay, so 908 won, but, oh, here we go, finally. Okay, 908 actually won, but then they didn't want the ticket. So the winner, I won't read the last name, is Bob. Bob is the winner, 732 area code, and I will be forwarding this on to Dagan, and he is the lucky winner of this vacant Rampage ticket. He had the correct answer. The man who is not Craig is, in fact, the late, great Sonny O'Mara. And coincidentally, also late and great is the name of the filmer who was my Uncle Wayne. So those are the answers. Congratulations to all of the winners, particularly Bob, who is I think he's accepting the ticket.
Shout out to Union County.
Oh, look, he is in the, yeah, he is. He's in the chat right now. BV Kid 87. Okay, so, Dagan, you can just, you want to just chat with him there, or do you want this? Because he only sent me his first name. I don't know if you can transfer the ticket to Bob. I think we might need a little bit more than that. But anyway, congratulations.
Oh,
Rampage tonight. Check it out, everybody. And as noted, tomorrow, after Full Gear, myself and Dave will be streaming pretty much immediately after the pay-per-view. Video.f4wonline.com for all of our video subscribers, and Twitch homies as well. Members only on Twitch. Twitch.tv/F4W video, and you can use your Amazon Prime account to sign up for Twitch free and watch the post-show tomorrow. We'll also be doing a simulcast post-show Sunday. Myself, Vinny, and Craig, who is not Sonny. Also YouTube and Twitch. So check it out. Thanks for listening, everybody. It was a fun Friday as always, wasn't it? We'll talk to you again next time. Wrestling Observer Live.